Hey everybody, Brannon Beliso here. Success never sleeps. I just want to get out of this parking lot because it's dark in here. Then I'm going to pull over and talk to you because I want to make sure I'm safe. And I was told by my cousin, who's a safety expert of the whole wide world, that even though your hand's free and you're not looking at your phone, they can still ticket you really, really big for that. And it's not safe. I do some of my best work when I'm driving though, you know? So I'm gonna pull here into this spot and I'm gonna talk to you. Sit still, be here with you. Alrighty folks, so Brannon Beliso here, and we've been talking a lot about summer marketing. You know, for a lot of businesses, summers are dead. And they look at that and they just simply throw their hands up in the air and they just give up. I look at it as an opportunity, much like the stock market, when everything's going down like it is right now with what's going on over in England, in the UK, as an opportunity, you buy stocks when it's pulling back. And so I'm trying to do more of that. It's the same thing here. You look at summertime and people are going, well, it sucks, summer's awful. No, it's not. You make it awful. You can look at it as an opportunity to capitalize on a market. So what should we be doing during summer? We know we should be doing camps. That's an absolute must. If you're not doing camps, then you're shooting yourself in the foot. Well, I don't want to burn out my staff. Well, don't burn out your staff. Hire college kids that are studying to be child psychologists, child development. They're great for the summer. They can do the mornings from 7:30 to about noon. Bring in your teaching staff about noon, 12:30. Let them run the martial arts. And then they teach regular classes in the evening. Second, do not change your regular schedule. Please. I think I put some footage today. I'll post it. Every one of our classes are packed. They're packed because we don't inconvenience people. They don't inconvenience people. And I'm really, really, really proud of that. We've had so many people come and going, wow, you're keeping a regular class schedule. Yes, we are. Whether it's a big schedule, whether it's a small schedule, a big class or a small class, we are not going to inconvenience people. We simply are not going to inconvenience people. Cool? So, you know, with that said, I want to be really mindful of that. Third, we have a great summer special, which is 3 months in a karate uniform for $299. Our trial is 4 weeks in a uniform for $99. So it's like putting 3 months of trials together, and people love it. Do they love it? They love it. So we've had maybe, I think, San Francisco's up to about 20 for this month of just those, because we've offered those, and Millbrae is up around, I think, 18 or 19. So it's pretty crazy. They're selling off the hook. People realize it's a simple commitment. It's only for the summer. It's a niche market. It's a type of person. They will only come for the summer, and after the summer they're going to leave. And that's the truth. We did this last summer for the first time, and the return was phenomenal. It was just amazing. But it's amazing how many of them left at the end of the summer. That's just where their head is, and you got to respect that and be cool with that and simply use it as an opportunity to train them during the summer. We had a kid come back this summer. It's like, wow, you were only here for 3 months last summer, and they're back again this summer. It's also for day camp that way, and we're okay with that. We're totally okay with that. Are you okay with it? I'm okay with it. Another thing we're doing is a summer contest. Every class you come to, you get a ticket, and that ticket goes into a pot. So the more classes, the more events you come to, you offer yourself the opportunity to increase your odds. So that's done really well for us this summer. The ticket thing's getting filled up. People love it. They're excited. They want to win the money, 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 money. Cash is king. Always give away cash prizes, please. So we're doing that. What else are we doing this summer? God, I posted that the other day. Sunday, we had 3 events. Two free birthday parties in San Francisco, which we do free parties in San Francisco. It's an urban environment. Things are more spread out. It gives us an opportunity. Every time we do a birthday party in San Francisco, we're guaranteed 20 to 30 kids that are not ours. So we like that. San Francisco's that way. Millbrae, it's a different animal. We're booked with birthday parties at $450 per party through November on some dates. It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's, again, marketing's different. They behave differently. They're only 20 minutes apart. That's why I don't believe in marketing one shoe, you know, one size fits all, or one shoe fits all, however it goes, one size fits all. It just doesn't. You know, different demographics behave differently. You need to understand the market that's in your demographic. Who is your client? Where do they hang out? How do they think? How do they act? It is different. I don't care what anybody wants to tell you. It behaves differently. So it works really well in Millbrae, like I said, the birthday party. So in Millbrae, we did 2 things on Sunday. So 2 parties in San Francisco on Sunday. Millbrae, we did a buddy day for Our Lady of Angels preschool. So we had a bunch of 4 years old with their parents in our school for 2 hours. Every kind of life skill, fun, family game we could possibly think of, and to show them the quality of the benefits they get with us. We don't teach a martial arts class. We don't walk around the clipboard. We don't try to sign up people. That's not the way we do it. And then we also had a team going out there. 3 people. One dressed as Kung Fu Panda. We had balloons with our logo on it. We had fruit snacks. We had those bubble guns blowing, bubbles everywhere. And we had rack cards. So balloons, bubbles, fruit snacks, rack cards. Hit the busiest parks in Millbrae, the busiest parks in the town over, the busiest streets where people eat brunch, and we nailed that too. So there's 4 different things we were doing on a Sunday. 4 events on a Sunday to market our school. Not to mention the Facebook ads, that's there as well. So I'm really mindful that marketing is important, but the best way to put a bad restaurant out of business is to have good marketing. You need to make sure your classes rock. You need to make sure your curriculum is relevant, it's fun, it's exciting, and of course, it's effective. Cool? We all would like to believe we're great teachers. I get that. We all want to believe we're great teachers, but please, 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 if you have 100 students, you've been open 20 years, I look at data. Data would tell me that you're challenged. Okay? So just be mindful of that. And whether it's, I got a lot of slack. People say, well, you can let a teenager run your class. I would rather have a highly trained 18-year-old kid running my class than a 55-year-old stubborn, set in their ways, martial artists that aren't going to open their mind to any type of learning. You feel me? All right, so with that said, Success Never Sleeps, episode number 12. I'm here with you, Brannon Beliso. What you got for me tonight? Go ahead. Type those questions in. I think what's really unique about this Success Never Sleeps that's happening is through it, we're creating a lot of critical thinkers. People that are thinking about, why do I do what I do? Right? Sharing that, explaining that, making that happen. That's super powerful. That's powerful because you're not sheep being led to slaughter. You don't simply let some guru tell you, I'm the expert, you're not, leave it to me. I wouldn't leave my life to anybody. I wouldn't leave my businesses to just anybody. I'm very particular. I work them hard. What I don't know, I learn enough of. So if I'm going to outsource it to some, expert, I'm going to make sure I can talk their language. How many great sports figures, movie stars, etc., knew nothing about finances and got screwed over by their accountant? Happens all the time. So you need to educate yourself. What do you need to do? You need to educate yourself. I'm passionate about that. Okay? So, type in those questions. Success Never Sleeps. You're a critical thinker. Your questions are important to me. I'm here for you. What you got? What you got? Okay, while I'm waiting for those questions. Who's going to join me on July 24th in Seattle? Anybody? Who's going to hit me up October 2nd in New York? How about October 9th in Tampa, Florida? We're down Tampa way. All right, go to BrannonBeliso.com. Sign up for those events. They're only limited to 50 school owners per location. And we're going to, get nitty and gritty. I call it the meat and potatoes tour, nut and bolts. We're not sitting in some resort with a drink with an umbrella in it. We're going to get down and dirty in a school. I'm going to teach you how I earned 285 students in 12 months in this new location. We're at 328 in 16 months. I'm going to teach you how to create a success mindset. I'm going to teach you about rotating curriculum, making sure you develop that curriculum. I'm going to talk to you about staff training, and I'm going to answer all those real questions, help you get real results. So we got 3 dates coming up. Tim, here's a question. What's the best way to establish a connection with the local apartment complexes? They have a lot of tenants that fit our demographic for fitness, kickboxing, and are within a couple of miles from us. That's really good, Tim. To me, that's an easy one. Do an everyday direct mail piece. Honestly, that's where I would begin. Because you just want to, boom, create brand awareness. See, out in Millbrae, we do everyday direct mail pieces. What I like about that, I know that list at the post office is up to date. They're not going to keep delivering to a house or an apartment that nobody's there. So the other thing about that, Tim, is you can choose the zip code, and you can choose the zip code, and you can choose how many you can send out. See, the thing about the big mail houses, they got a minimum. So it's going to cost you $3,000, $4,000 to do a mailer. But if you just want to target the zip codes in that apartment complex, you could probably send it there again and again and again and again. So that's one way to do that. If they have a rec room in that place, Tim, I would approach, the management, the HR people, whoever runs the facility, and say, hey, can I come in here on a great, beautiful day and do a couple of free kickboxing classes? Offer it to the complex, right? I'm sure they have an activity room. You know, it's no different than you know, doing something in the park and rec as a feeder system into your main system. That's another way to do that. I would donate. You know, if you did something, imagine, Tim, if you donated the new pool cleaning, that little machine that cleans the pool. You know, and everybody knew that. Went in the newsletter. Hey, this was donated by so-and-so martial arts. They're a business that gives back. Da, 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 da. Maybe a bench. Maybe you get a bench that they really need on this certain walkway in this apartment complex. And it's got a big metal plate on it that says, this was donated courtesy of, you know, so-and-so martial arts. What you want is brand awareness. What you want is to be in their eyes, on their minds constantly. So you need to put something in place that says that without saying, buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me, sell, sell, sell. You feel me? Does that make sense? Doesn't that make sense? Yeah. So again, look at the demographic. Look at the activities they do. Look what they're about. You know, we cater to kids, right? So that means I cater to a lot of moms. I go where moms and kids hang out. Cool? So those are some of the ideas I would do. How about this? How about for 4th of July, if they have a big giant pool, your school comes in and cooks hamburgers and hot dogs all day for free from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. How about that? How about that, Tim? Right? You got a captive audience by the swimming pool. You're out there barbecuing, wearing your, you know, t-shirt and a pair of sweats, nothing too heavy. I wouldn't stand in a uniform and a black belt barbecuing. Maybe, I don't know, you know, something as simple as that with a nice big sign that says, you know, Happy Independence Day, all lunch courtesy of so-and-so martial arts. You see where I'm going with that? People walk in and they get that, you know, in an email, a newsletter from their apartment complex. You know, for 4th of July, we got a pool party. We're going to have free barbecue, hot dogs, hamburgers, chips, fixins, da-da-da-da-da, courtesy of so-and-so martial arts. What about that? And right there, you got a little bucket. Anybody that wants to put in their name and their email will win a $100 Visa gift card. Then you take all that information, put it in some kind of autoresponder, and start sending people, you know, relevant content-based emails in a drip system. How about that? What do you think of that, Tim? Tell me that's not amazing. I would. God, if it's a big apartment complex and you say, hey, we just want to donate. We're not going to solicit. We're not going to do any of that. You know, I'll ask you, let me put up a nice big sign that says, all lunch courtesy of so-and-so. Go to Costco, get, you know, 300-400 hot dogs, blah, blah, blah. Look at it as the best form of marketing you can do. What do you think of that, folks? Punch it in there. Anybody? Yeah, right? See, Jake, that's the thing about me, is that I look for unique ways to market. I'm tired of the same old rhetoric and this regurgitated stuff they're sending you. You know, go get a booth, get a little wheel, spin the freaking wheel, you know, win some glow chucks, but they can't have the glow chucks. They got to come to your school to get them. Oh, my Lord. We're better than that. We are. We're creative, innovative thinkers. Let's allow ourselves to think outside the box, okay? Marcus, I'm in a high-cost retail space with about 180 students. Would you suggest going to a lower overhead to save money? No. No, I wouldn't. You're in a high-cost retail space because there's a lot of foot traffic, correct? You're there because there's probably a Starbucks, etc., etc. I've got 3,700 square feet here. I have 24-hour fitness above me, Subway sandwiches next to me, Trader Joe's down the street, Office Depot, 2 Starbucks, a Jamba Juice, a Pete's Coffee, and my rent, you know, including can and everything, is about 14 grand a month. But right now, you know, we're pulling in close to 60K a month at the new location. That works for me all day, every day. All day, every day. And it's going to get bigger and better. What I would challenge you on, Marcus, is if you've got this high-cost retail space and there's tons of foot traffic and you're co-branding with all these great, you know, other brands, which I assume you are, right? Which I assume you are, Jake, right? Then I would say to you that you need to look at the way you're marketing. You need to look at your service. You need to look at the curriculum you're presenting. You need to look at your staff training. You need to look at how empowered they are. You need to look at all those things. Let me ask you this, Jake. How long have you been in business? And this question, how many floors do you have? In San Francisco, we're running 3,700 square feet. Oh, you mean how many training floors? San Francisco, we have 3. In Millbrae, we technically have 1 big one right now, but we can put a curtain down the middle, make 2 smaller ones. And then the one in the back, we can do, pull out the tables and chairs when the after-school program goes home, roll out a dollar mat. So technically 3. And each floor would be about 900 square feet each. So 6 months you've been open, Jake. Great. Were you open anywhere before that, Jake? Type that in. So you've only been at this location 6 months. Were you anywhere before that, Jake? I bought it from a former owner. Okay. How many students were there when you bought it, Jake? We were here. So how many students were there when you bought it? There were 200 students there where you bought it. So now in 6 months, you've lost 20 students. Why is that? Why do you think that is? You bought the school with 200 students. 6 months later, you're at minus 20. Why do you think that is, Jake? Is it because it was a personality-driven business and the previous owner left, so some people quit? Is that it? A power sale. Well, okay. I was the personality and still am. Well, if you were the personality, how come you're minus 20 students? I'm going to challenge you on that, sir. If you're the rock star and you're the reason people were there, I mean, there's nothing to sell, right? If you're selling it every time you teach a class. So there's nothing to sell. So if you're down by 20 students, there's something going on there. See, and that's what I would look at, Jake. I don't think it's the rent. If you're in a high retail space, a lot of foot traffic, co-branding with all these great names, and you're a rock star and you're at minus 20 students since you bought it, then there's something seriously wrong. Right? So I really want you to look at that, Jake. And I'm going to challenge you. Check your ego. Put it aside. I was the personality and still am. It's not working, is it? It's not working, sir. You're at minus 20 students, right? With all the love and respect I can offer you, there's something not right. You're going backwards. You're losing students, okay? So there's something not there, Jake, and it's got nothing to do with power sales. You and I both know a great restaurant can survive with very little marketing if the food rocks, the staff rocks, the service rocks, right? So if you're the personality, you're the reason there, you're the chef, you're the one churning out these amazing meals, then I want to know why you've lost 20 students and it's not growing slowly. Because the only thing that's really happened is this guy's left, correct? And you bought the school. That is the only thing different, and he was this power sales guy, right? So if the only variable is he's a power sales guy and you're not, and you don't want to be, then what you need to do, Jake, is become better, a better instructor, become better at service, become better at curriculum design, become better at staff training, and create a team to help you grow. Because I would say at 180 students, you're doing most of the teaching, right? Right? I would say you're doing most of the teaching, right, Jake? I know there's a little lag, so go ahead and type it in there. I would say you're doing most of the teaching, Jake. And the challenge with that, too, oh, you're not. So how many other people are on your team, Jake? Or have you stopped teaching to run the school? Answer me on that one. Good. So are you teaching a lot less than you used to teach? So, okay, so there's your first problem. You're at minus 20 because you've slowed down teaching to run the school. That's the first big problem. At this point, I wouldn't slow down till I'm up around 300. And in the interim, Jake, in the interim, I would be working my butt off to develop my curriculum, to develop my why, my culture, my tribe. I would develop a system of staff training that rocks. Because if your staff training rocked and you have 5 instructors, you would not be minus 20 students. You should be up from where you were 6 months ago. You should be up from where you were 6 months ago. And on the low end, 10 students, you know, figuring the attrition rate and all that, 10 net students a month, you should be up by 50, 60 students, sir. So the thing I'm going to encourage you, Jake, first of all, teach a lot more. Isn't that weird, right? Teach a lot more because you got to make that freaking rent. And if you're the rock star and you know, it's going to take 6 months to a year to figure out your curriculum, figure out your system of staff training to get those guys up to par. Work side by side with them, be the best example, nurture that, mentor that, and make that grow. See, there was a time for me in my school I was in the same position. I hit 180, and then what I did instead, I knew I could teach better, bigger, and faster than anybody in my school at that point. So I hired an operations manager, which we don't have anymore. And that operations manager, paid the bills, did payroll, answered the phones, did all that different stuff. And I continued to rock hard. I rocked hard. I rocked really hard. I taught, figured out my curriculum, redesigned it, did staff training, brought in people like Dave Kovar, I brought in people like Roland Osborne, to help train my team. Roland Osborne helped me revamp my curriculum at that time. And I really began to understand my why, my niche, who I am. And then I wrote my system of staff training. I developed my staff based upon our purpose and our why. I didn't let go of teaching, a lot until, we're up around 500-600. And that's just where I wanted to be. And then I backed off completely. I lost 100 students when I stopped teaching. By the fourth quarter, we had our best fourth quarter ever, and it grew back. So that might just be a little dip in it, because you have all this new staff teaching, and eventually nobody will care that you're not there, Jake. But if you're minus 20 and it's because you're not teaching, which is one of the, I would assume, Jake, and your staff is not quite where you need it to be, because if they were, they would be growing that school without you. Okay? They would be growing that school without you. Cool? All right. So next question. Give me some more questions. Come on, folks, lay them on me. I love your questions because you're thinkers. I want you to think. I don't want you to think like me. I want you to think like you. And maybe I'll inspire you. Maybe I'll motivate you. But you see, my vision's very clear. And someone made that comment to me the other day. They go, well, you can't give this information to people because they're not you. That's BS. That's BS. We're all rock stars. Yeah, me too, Jake. I'm bummed I'm not going to be at the Super Show. I really am. But I got great respect for Century. They said they wanted to shake things up, and they just wanted to give new faces. It's 2015. They've been doing this Super Show for 15 years. I got to believe them. I got to believe them. Hopefully they'll see the impact. Maybe you'll complain when you're there, Jake. Where's Brannon Beliso? He should be here, and get a buzz going. Maybe if someone start a petition. I don't know. Maybe they'll think about it next year. Maybe they will, because I'll miss it. I love the Super Show. I love Century. I love being part of that culture. And I work really hard to serve you guys. Yeah, there you go. Make t-shirts. That would be funny, huh? There's Brannon Beliso t-shirts. That's crazy. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that. So those are my thoughts, though, really about that. And just think about that. I'm always pulling back my own covers every day. I am. I'm always checking my ego. I'm always, I don't knock myself down. I'm very grateful every day. And I do my best, and I'm very proud of what I've accomplished, and I don't put myself down, but I always check my ego at the door. I think ego is useless. Self-confidence is different. Self-esteem is different. And be really clear about that when I say that. Cool? All right, next question. Give me some more questions, folks. I really love this Success Never Sleeps because you're really thinking. I love how you guys are thinking. You're thinking. I'm so proud of you. I mean, I'm really proud of everybody because we're beginning to wake up from like this slumber. It's like they've beaten us down, they've beaten our head down saying, you must do it one way, our way, do it our way. The only way you will be successful is with contracts. And that's what they tell me, and I told them, I don't like contracts. Well, then you'll fail. Okay, well, I don't like belt testing fees. I don't like those things. It doesn't resonate with me. Then you will fail. How can you tell me my belief system, my values are going to fail? You don't have to live my life. I do, And I'm saying the same thing here is don't think like me. Just think and be really clear why you do what you do and find that purpose and fulfill it on a daily basis. All right? Next question. That was good stuff, Jake. Good stuff. But I probably wouldn't move my school. I would figure out what other issues really loom there, because moving might make it 10 times worse. You know what I mean? You don't cut off your nose in spite of your face. You figure why that's not working. All right, next question. What you got for me? Hey, there's Michael Pham. What's happening, sir? What's happening? We're going to be at Michael's place in New York. God, I can't say that right. Felden? Am I saying that right? Nelden? God, I'll get it. But we're going to be there October 2nd. Okay? We're going to be at Michael Pham's place on October 2nd. October 2nd. I'm looking forward to coming to New York. I really, really am. I really am. Give me another question. What you got for me? Success Never Sleeps, episode number 12 with me, Brannon Beliso. Selden. Thank you, Michael, sir. Selden. Right? Somebody said it's right in their backyard. They're really excited. They already signed up for that date. You know, if you go to brannonbeliso.com, there's 3 locations there you can click on and sign up. We're going to try to keep it down to 50 school owners. I want it intimate. I want to serve you well. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll work on that. Looks like we have Dallas almost booked. We're going to be in Texas as well. What you got for me, folks? Next question before I get out of here. You know, I posted that live feed earlier about sweeping my school. And I think it's really, really important to practice a sense of humility. And when I sweep that floor, it's very meditative. It's very humbling. And it reminds me where I was, where I can be again. You know, if I'm not mindful about how I spend, what decisions I make, what choices I make, how I grow my business, how I grow my life. And it's a great example. When my team sees me sweeping, it's amazing how everybody mobilizes and starts cleaning more. You know, I don't say a word. I just grab the broom and I start doing what I do because I like it. I just love, I find it very meditative. It's very healing. And all of a sudden I look around me and everybody else is cleaning like really fast. I'm going, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You know, I think as an instructor, I'm not going to ask you to do 10 push-ups unless I'm willing to do them right alongside you. And I think that type of leadership, which is very contemporary, is so valuable and important in today's culture. Millennials, you know, especially, are not inspired by some control and command parent figure that's simply going to tell them what to do. They're not. They want to be inspired through example. They want to be inspired with telling them why. Teach me why we do it this way. And that takes a little longer. It takes a little more education, but you can have such a better team, you know, player on your team if you can do that. Feel me? All right, next question. What you got for me? I'm coming on early tonight because everyone's telling me I come on really late. And we got great Chris Malloy. He's here from Australia. He's got to go teach a class every time I'm on, 10:30 at night. Half of you guys are asleep by 1 a.m. You know, so I'm trying to be here a little bit early. So Success Never Sleeps. I'm with you, Brannon Beliso. What you got for me? Everybody's summer should be rocking. And we looked last night, we're at $130,000 for the month of June. Isn't that crazy? You know, our students are up. We're like 330 in Millbrae. I think we're closing in on 570. And our goal is 900 students. I want to be at 1,000 by the end of the year. That's going to be the goal. And we'll work on it, not by having these set goals, but by serving better, by teaching better, by improving our curriculum, by improving our service. You know, by always... Those types of things to me are really what makes it relevant. People think we're going to get 900 students by selling harder, by closing more contracts, doing those things. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're going to serve people better by being mindful of why you do what you do and building that. If I asked you right now, why do I want to come to your martial arts school? What are you going to tell me? Go. What are you going to tell me? Why do I want to come to your martial arts school versus Joe Karate down the street? What are you going to tell me right now? What are my class sizes like, Noel? Well, it's crazy. In Millbrae, because we're using one big floor, you know, we're doing 20 to 30 people a class. Easy. San Francisco, we have 3 smaller floors currently, so we're averaging 15, 15, and 15, which is 45. So Millbrae, we're going to put a curtain down the middle of the floor to split the floor in half, and the back room, which is the activity room, we can pull those tables and chairs, roll them out, and put down a Dolomar mat. So ultimately, we would like classes no bigger than 15 to 20 kids at any given time. But I think no matter what the size of the class, the biggest obstacle you have with parents, they will ask you how many kids in a class. And your answer should always be, we work with a low student-to-teacher ratio, roughly 7 to 1. That's what you need to answer with. Never answer anywhere from 10 to 30. No way. When someone says, how many kids in a class? I say, well, what's more important is the student-to-teacher ratio. And what we do offer is for every 7 students, there'll be an instructor on the floor. Cool? Next question. Come on, Success Never Sleeps here with me, Brannon Beliso, hanging out. I'm trying not to drive when I do these things, you guys, because I had a cousin who does safety who just kind of keeps ragging on me. But I love to drive. I love to drive and talk. And I think it's safe. But anyways, so what you got for me? You know, I think I shared that with you guys, that everything's a cycle. And we're coming up on another 10-year cycle. So really mindful of the undisciplined pursuit of more. I learned about that in How the Mighty Fall. I read that book by Jim Collins, and he speaks about that passionately. You know, the biggest failure of many businesses is the undisciplined pursuit of more. Don't pursue more just because you want more. Pursue more because it helps grow your team, and you offer opportunities for your team. So with that said, as soon as I made that comment, boom, this whole thing happened in the UK. We're coming up on an election year. You should be really mindful of what you're doing with your money right now. And I do believe, though, as I'm learning through a couple people that I have great respect for. One of them is Greg Horton, another one Sam Ahn. And I'm learning a lot about the stock market. And, you know, Warren Buffett's living proof of that. We have to be growing our wealth, you know, and our financial health. You just got to invest in that. So please spend some time learning about that. I know people look at stocks like gambling, but I think if you're smart, you understand the market, and you know how it works, there's some unique opportunities out there that can help increase your wealth. There just are, and there just are. So with that said, I hope you're really mindful about what expansions you're doing in your business and all those different things. I have somebody I worked with that just did $1 million again, and for the first time in years, and my discipline would be, well, great, let's do $1 million for 3 years in a row. Then I can say it's not lucky, right? So they're coming up on their second year. They looks like they're going to do 1.2 million. So I think they're primed to open another school. They really are. They're deep on the bench. They got staff ready. I think they're really, really ready for that. So that I would encourage. But I would say look at those financial indicators that are out there right now, to not predict, but to see the cycle and know that whether it's a downturn in the real estate market or something, or this election, right? You got Trump and Clinton. It's a tough position. People are going to be very unstable. They're going to be very careful what they do with their money and how they spend, you know, with this coming up right now with the whole thing in the UK. So just please be disciplined. Michelle's saying, I'm starting an instructor training program next week. I have several awesome teen black belts, and I would love to teach them to be future rock star instructors. What is the first thing you would work on when training new instructors? I think it's the mindset. You know, they're rock stars. They might be enthusiastic and all of it. It's kind of like a wild horse. You don't want to break that wild horse. You love their energy, their passion, but it's unbridled. You ever hear that terminology, Michelle? Unbridled. So what I would really work on is creating that success mindset. If you're clear on your culture, you're clear on your why. In our case, it's to live your best life. Then I want to make sure they're really clear and passionate and purpose-driven to help other people live their best life. Because once that's there, then teaching them how to hold a pad and, you know, instruct a front kick, all of that's easy. It's not what you teach, it's how you teach it. And part of that is instilling in your rock stars, you know, are you here for the right reasons? Are you passionate about fulfilling our why? Are you passionate about fulfilling our why? Cool? So that's the first thing I would do. I would really work on them, making sure they got that success mindset. Then I'd work on their greeting, you know, smiling all the time, making sure they're always in the coach's stance, they're enthusiastic, you know, everything. I mean, there's not any one thing that I would work on, because if you hire them based upon them fitting your culture to begin with, Michelle, then everything you work on is just going to be like gravy. It's going to be success. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. So again, those are the things I would work on. Cool? What else you got for me, folks? What you got? What you got? I got to plug this in now because the battery's running low, because you guys are just amazing. You're just amazing. All right, what you got for me? Talk to me, talk to me. This is Brannon Beliso, Success Never Sleeps, episode 12. Yeah, you got it, Michelle. I mean, I've got no doubt. If you got rock stars and they feel you, they get your purpose, and they got the passion you do, and they're in line with that, then just be very methodic. I've got an instructor training program, instructor training program. I give it away for free. I could charge a lot of money for it, but I choose to do that because I want you to get going, and I want you to realize you need to work on your business, not in it. You got to have rock stars. They've got to teach better than you. If we can do that, then we can talk about marketing. We can talk about your brand. We can talk about refining your culture. But let's take care of that first so you have some freedom. So it's go to onemartialarts.com, look under members, go to news, and under news you can download the PDF for my first year of my instructor's training experience. Cool? What else you got for me, folks? Because I'm going to start heading home. I can't see her staring at this wall. So as I wrap this one up, I want to share with you, I will be in Seattle, Washington on July 24th. All-day event. It's time live at Elite Martial Arts, Rocky Abel's place. We're getting down, meat and potatoes, people. We're not messing around. I don't want to be in a resort. I want to be distracted with some foo-foo umbrella and a drink. I want to get down nitty and gritty. We're going to lay down for like 11 hours and just bang it out. And a lot of relevant content. Go to brannonbeliso.com. A lot of people are utilizing my service for one-on-one phone consultations. You can book that online as well. And then also my mentoring program. Talk to the people out there. People like Dean Wilkerson. He just put the other day, he's added 167 students or 180 students in the 8 months he's worked with me. Chris Malloy in Australia, just from dropping contracts and really changing his mindset about service, has added like 257 in 6 or 7 months between his 2 locations. Rich Biacherini, he did the 8-month program with me, and he's up net 80 or 90 students. And they're going, wow, this is amazing. No, it's not. You serve people better. You make your curriculum better. You train your instructors better. I'm hard-pressed to believe that you're not organically going to grow your school and improve your retention, and they're going to tell other people through referrals. I'm sorry. If I own a restaurant and I'm constantly improving my recipes, training my waiters better, training my stuff better, to serve better, improving my ambiance in my environment, how is that restaurant not going to grow? Now, you back that up with some smart marketing, good Facebook ads, Google reviews, all the rest. You know, you do the community events, show yourself your business that cares. I'm hard-pressed to believe you're not going to grow your business. We're seeing that in the second location that's replicating the behavior of the first one. It's just crazy. 330, I think, today. I'll check later and let you know. Cool? Any other questions? All right. I don't want to drive and do this. I want to be safe. This is Brannon Beliso. I want to say success never sleeps. Episode 11, 12. We're somewhere up there. Until we talk again, folks, I love you all. Go out there and make a difference.